So yeah, so all you need for your rockets are some paper, some card, some little 35mm film canisters which you can buy online for fairly cheap. You need some water. This is just still water here, and if you have a jug to pour your water, it can be quite handy as well. We're going to have a go at making some rockets. The first thing to do is tape your rocket and your rocket engine and your paper together, like so, and then wrap it round. Once you have the main part of your rocket done with your engine at the bottom, you need to make a cone for the top. We want our rockets to be as aerodynamic as possible. So what we're going to do now is make our cone for the top of our rocket. And the best way to make a cone is take a piece of paper, fold it in half, fold it into a quarter, and then you can cut your cone from there. So rather than having to cut a full circle, you can now just cut a quarter of a circle. Okay, and when you fold your paper out, you have a roughly cone shape. You cut it along the middle to the centre line from where you folded, fold it under and tape it together. It's a little bit windy here today, causing us some issues, but we can see how we go. So, if you find your cone is slightly too big, what you can do is you can fold it in on itself to make a slightly smaller cone, like so. Tape that again. Open it up, and you have a nice cone. Pop your cone over the top of your rocket, like so, and tape it on securely on there. So we can see we now have our engine at the bottom. We can take off the cap, so the water is going to go in here along with your fizzy tablet. Now you can use Alka-Seltzers or any other type of sort of fizzy tablet, but if you're doing this at home, make sure that you have a parent with you just while you're doing these experiments. So yeah, so we now have a fairly aerodynamic rocket. The cone helps it cut through the air. But the other thing we can do to make it even better is to add some fins, and the fins help stabilise the rocket as it launches through the air. So I think I'm going to go for some blue fins.
Yeah, well hopefully if you make your fins cleverly, you can make them so that the rocket actually spins, and that makes it even more aerodynamically.
Yeah. So you just want to cut triangles out of your. So it's probably best to use card for your fins if you have it. And once you cut one out, you can use that as a template to then cut your other fins as well. So I'm just going to use this here as a template. I'm going to cut along the line, and I think I'm going to go for 3 fins. You can do 2, 1, 4, whatever you want. You can do big fins, little fins. You can mix and match. Entirely up to yourself. The whole point of doing this is to experiment and see what works best for your rockets. Okay, so yeah, so do that with all of your fins. Fold over. Put your tape along the edge. Like so, and then tape it on. And see, I'm putting my fins towards the bottom of the rocket, but it's up to you. You can put them higher up. You can have some small fins higher up, and let's see how you go. If you put some tape on the other side as well, it just helps balance your fins out, like so. Okay, so we now have 2 fins. I said I'm going to do a 3-finned rocket. So now, as you can see, we have a fairly straightforward rocket. We have the cone to help it cut through the air, and we have the fins to help it stay stable as it launches. The next thing we need to do is put our fuel and our oxidizer into the rocket, and we'll be ready to take off. James, how are you doing?
Not bad, I'm just putting myself put the one for nice.
James has got some nice star stickers and stuff there as well. If you have any spare, I might have a couple.
There you go, yeah, you should. Stars for you there.
Lovely. Now you can decorate your rocket any way you wish. You can stick some stickers onto it. You can also draw some pictures, and don't forget to name your rocket as well. Being a Star Trek fan, I am going to name my rocket Enterprise. You can name yours whatever you like. So there we go, just putting a few stars on there. I'll put a few on the other side. Now traditionally there is markings on rockets, and they help the engineers on the ground to see which way the rocket is rotating as it's in flight, because if it was all just the same colour, you wouldn't be able to see any of that rotation. So having some shapes on there can help you see how the rocket turns as it launches. So here is Enterprise, finished and ready to go. You can write the name of your rocket on it if you're doing it with family. And the other good thing to do with your rocket is if you're making them together, you can then have a little competition. So once you put your fuel in and your oxidizer to help your reaction, you can time how long the rockets are in the air and have a little competition with your family as you build these. So if you do have them, a pair of safety glasses is worth wearing or purchasing as part of your experiment. So before you put your engine together, you put your glasses on. If you don't have glasses, you will need to step back fairly quickly once you put your engine together to make sure you're far enough away. 2 or 3 meters back, just to make sure you're far enough away and you won't cause any issues. There you go.
Oh, there we go.
So there we go. Hopefully you're able to see that that launch there, and yeah, it popped off. So I think what we'll do is when we do our experiment, we will use a little bit more water, and you can experiment with 2 tablets rather than 1 as well. So it's best to have some kitchen roll with you as well, so that you can
Mop up.
clear up any mess as you go. So I think we're now ready to go for the proper launch of our rockets. So from doing our rocket engine test, we now think we need a little bit more water to help our reaction happen quicker. So I think we're going to fill our rockets about 3/4 full.
Too much, there we go.
And we'll see how we go. And we're going to go for 2 tablets this time, so we're going to pop them in. You ready?
Yep.
We're going to pop the lid on as tight as we can. Lay our rocket down. Yay! We have success! We have a rocket launch.
There's my one of those. Yay! There we go. Yep.
Is it going to go? Yay! Well done. We have a success. Well done, James. What a fantastic rocket
There you
you
go.
have there.
It's all about construction.